Hey loves, welcome back to my space. If you're new here, thank you so much for dropping by. If you're an OG, I see you. We're back with another DIY as usual. If you see a table like this, it's a DIY. We're going to use this cardboard. We're also going to use this magazine that I featured some years back. If you're an OG, you've seen this magazine somewhere. We're also going to use this clear paper that I used for lamination to laminate your documents. We're also going to use these frames. If you haven't seen these frames, go back and watch the video with the leaf. We're also going to do this with this and glue gun. Yeah, guys, let's do this video. We're going to cut our board. If you have a mirror, these normal mirrors, you already know that they don't, at the back of it they use this cardboard. Yeah, so for me, I'm going to use these cardboards, and because I wanted to know the size that I want, I just placed the frame that I have and just drew a line, and then to cut I added an inch. Actually, it wasn't an inch, it was a very few centimeters, because this is the exact size of the frame. But you also note that the frame needs an extra allowance, so I added an allowance to this, a very tiny allowance. I guess they were 2 to 3 centimeters. Yeah, so I added an allowance and I went on to cut the board. Actually, if you haven't seen these frames, yeah, there's a video I did with a big leaf, a very big leaf. Yeah, I guess it's a third video or something. Yeah, this Christmas, this December or December, that video in December. Yeah, I did a very big DIY with these frames. So I actually showed you how to do the frames, by how to paint the frames. I didn't make the frames, I bought them from the fundi. I was like, yo, my fundi, the mirror fundi, I was like, can you make me these ones? Because these ones have a certain line in between that makes them look so good that I'm unable to do. I can create frames, but to do that line, I'm unable. But again, I'm learning. I'm going to learn this, because where I do everything, hey, kununua is not working for me. Yeah, anyway, but they're very cheap. They're very affordable. Actually, they are very, very affordable. I guess one frame he made for around, the bigger ones were 50, the smaller ones were 30, 20, actually around there. Yeah, so once you've done, we're going to put them in and ensure that they fit. The best thing about these frames, that I told you, they have that kaina thing. So when you're putting mirrors, they put mirrors there, they put your mirror, your picture, and then this cardboard, and then they dungilia to misumari. That's what they do. But for me, I made sure that these boards were fitting. You see the way it is, they were fitting, so there's no need to secure it again. But if you want to secure it, you're good to go. So what you're going to do with this gazette or this magazine that this lady featured is, we're going to do cutouts. Yeah, if you have done a portfolio, if you have done your personal portfolio, for if you are a model or you are a stylist or something, there's something called a cutout portfolio. You have the printout and then you have the cutout. Yeah, if you have done a portfolio, you know what I mean. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do, like, it's as if you're creating that portfolio, but you're doing cutouts. Yeah, cutouts are these pictures from something you've featured or something, you know. Yeah, or it's some pictures that you've printed and then you cut pictures that you cut like this. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh my god, I'm speaking too much. Anyway, so we're going to cut. I realized some of these pictures were too big for the frames, and I realized I'm going to cut a little part of my body. Maybe the legs will not show on these cutouts, or actually it's mostly the legs. But anyway, we are going to make it work. So it's slow. If you have this, you cut it pole pole. You don't have to have featured in a magazine, or you don't have to have what do I mean? You don't have to have printed them, but you can also use photos from your album. I know you have an album at home. If you print your photos, you have hard copies photos, you can use the hard copy photos to do this. Yeah, if you want to have your hard copies photos on your wall or something. So I decided, for me, I'm going to cut this because I have kept these magazines for the longest time, and I was like, you know what, I want to see them on my walls. I've been postponing this. I've been like, oh, I'll frame them. I'll frame them. Of which I'm going to frame an actual picture. I'm also going to do mounting. Can you just suggest someone you know who does great mounting, photo mount on the comment section? Please just drop someone you think or you know who does amazing work with photo mount, yeah, because I want these photos mounted on my wall. But for now, we're going to work with this because I also wanted this printout, so I'm going to frame the printouts. So as you can see me, I'm just cutting, and as I've said, you can cut into anything. You remember there's a DIY we did with printouts, and we made DIYs with tape. You remember? This is the exact same thing we did, but for now we're just cutting. So I'm cutting and ensuring that they fit on this frame. Yeah, you see, so there's still as I said, legs. I'm going to cut my shoes. I'm going to cut those heels because these frames are too small for these, but again, we're going to survive. Yeah, so I'm doing this and pimaring if they toshana, like napima kama zitatoshea kwa hiyo frame, because that's the actual size that I want. And as you can see, I've really squeezed them together. If they're not fitting, you can just cut them and bring them closer. So once you've placed it into your frame, or into your frame, this is what you're going to do. We're going to put this cardboard at the end, but we're going to make sure that the cardboard and the clear paper of the same size, and the picture, the three of them should be, no, the two of them should be actually the same size. The frame and the clear paper and the cardboard at the back, because they are falling, all of them are falling under that color line. Yeah, so this is what you're going to do. Tunatoshanisha too, because I didn't want to cut it like, you know, so I had to trace it out by just placing the cardboard that I had already cut. It makes works easier. And then, as usual, if you're doing if you're framing, the mirror comes before the image, and then before the cardboard, and the image before the cardboard. So it's, are you getting me? It's the mirror, and then the image, and then the cardboard. Yeah, but for us, because we're not using mirrors, that's why it's called a DIY. We're not going to use mirrors. We're going to use this clear paper. So we're going to have the clear paper first, and then the image, and then the cardboard. So because we are going to use the paper, the clear paper, we're ensuring that it fits in. So that's why you see me trimming, because if you want to have a perfect thing, you're going to trim, because if you don't trim and the paper is, or the clear paper is bigger than the frame, it will form some, you see what it's forming. Yeah, it's not a fold, but it's making it look bulky, and it won't lie flat it won't create a flat surface as you want it to create. Yeah, so we're going to keep on trimming until we get the fit that we want. So don't worry, make sure that your scissors are very sharp. Don't worry about you going having edges that are not the same. Like, as long as it fits. You see what I'm doing? As cut and then measure, cut and then fit it, cut and fit, because if you cut it without fitting, you might end up having a messy, or you might end up cutting it too much. So it's just cutting and fitting. We're not going to use glue gun here. We're not going to add glue gun to attach this, because guys, if you can fit it to the frame perfectly, it's going to fit. As you can see, the frame, if you can tell, it has some kaline. You see that kaline, that there, because where your paper is lying flat, that kaline secures the paper. So don't be in a rush to, or don't worry about it not fitting. Once you've fitted there's the colored the plain paper, the clear paper, which is acting like our mirror. It's acting as our mirror, because we all know photo frames have mirrors. So this paper is a cheap way to achieve that look, because we are not going to break banks to create this. That's why we're using this. It's a cheap way to make to create that canini of mirror, yeah. So once you've fitted it in, it's time to fit your cutouts in. For me, I was like, oh, I'm not going to cut it too much, I'm just going to be folding edges, because I realized if I cut too much, I'm going to mess, especially with this magazine, because it's light, it's what. Oh, I realized if I cut, I'm going to mess. So what I did is just put it, measure, and then fold the edges that are the excess edges, yeah, to excess ones, yeah. I folded them all together because cutting was not clear. But if you are accurate, with cutting, please go on and cut, yeah. So for me, I folded these like this and this, and then at this point is where I was like, oh, see, I can do glue gun or some paper glue to hold down these. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you are unable to cut to the exact measure, and you find yourself folding like me, and you find like your folds are disturbing, you can use glue. At this point, you are allowed to use glue. So for me, I kept folding and measuring, so that it falls where I want, exactly where I want, and exactly where the frame fits. So this is what I did. I kept folding until I achieved what I wanted. As I've said, you can use glue. Now guys, let me ask you, why do you have to get are frames very expensive out here? Why are frames very expensive? Me, I don't understand that. I don't. Anyway, once your image is on place or whatever, once the image is there, now it's time to cover the image, as always, yeah. As always, they have this cardboard at the back, or they have the board. You know what they always have. You know, if you buy a frame, it always have maybe a cardboard or something. But if it's just a local mirror, we all know they use these cardboards. E box, carton ya maziwa. That's what they use. So for us, we're going to use that. And then when I was doing this, I realized this frame was too small. Okay, not too small. The cardboard was not sitting well. And this is where I decided to use my hot glue gun. Guys, I used hot glue gun to fix this, because it was dancing, so I added a little on every edge. Every edge I added a little glue gun. This was the point where I'm telling you, don't be generous. Don't be too generous. Anyway, I added kidogo just to hold it, because maybe you'll want to remove this and reuse the frame sometime in the future or not. But guys, see what we achieved. Just see. This is a low budget frame and home decor. These are very low budget decor. You see, you can tell me your walls are going to be boring when you can do this. Why let your walls be boring when you can do this? Imagine. Just look at that. Anyway, at this point, you can add hooks or whatever you want. For me, I did do hooks at this point because I didn't have hooks. But as always, so remember what hooks we use. Low budget hooks. If you don't have the normal hooks, you can use the paper clips, as your hooks. But at this point, imagine our DIY is done. Just look at that. We're going to do the same to all frames, because I did have 3 frames, and I'm also going to do this for my PA because he loved them. So I'm going to do the same DIY for my PA's for my PA's pictures, so that he can have his own frames on the wall, this especially if you want to do memory wall. You know what a memory wall is? If you want to do a memory wall, and you have to, for my baby, for my PA, I'm going to create a memory wall. I'm going to start from the picture day one picture up to where he is, and I'm going to make it a tradition. I'll be adding pictures every year. Every birthday picture is going to be on that wall. I know I'm extra. I know I'm extra. But anyway, the way they turned out, I really love this, and that's why I'm going to recreate these every time I'm going to do this. Just look at how cute they look. Look at how cute they look. At this point, there's nothing else. It's just framing them. Put them on your walls because, yo, they look perfect. Perfect, perfect. I know this camera is not doing these photos justice, but yo, we are done. Just look at those cutout. Look at those. These are low budget frame artwork, low budget artwork for you, and you can do this wherever you are, whenever, anytime you want, anyhow you want. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you love this DIY. I truly love this. If you're going to try this, because I urge you to try, because you're going to love it. Your walls are going to look a bomb. Like, your walls are going to look super cute with this. Don't have boring walls. Just create. These are low budget frames and they look perfect. Just look at that. No one will tell. No one will know. Will they know that that's not a mirror? No one will know. Not unless wamekuja kusorora kwako. No one will tell that those are not mirrors. Those frames are made from mirrors. Tell them those are mirrors. They can tell the way it looks, the way it shouts, the way it's like. This DIY is everything. I love this DIY. I'm going to decorate my walls in all ways. I'm going to even add more because the way they turned out, we can all agree. We can all agree. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Whoa. Till next time. Bye-bye.